So here we are, last day in Rome, last day in Italy. Was this your first time?
Yeah, it was.
First time in Europe?
No, I've been in Europe many times, but this is my first time.
All right. So what did you think of Italy?
It was really cool. It was a lot more it was way more interesting than I thought it would be because I thought we were just going to be looking at ruins, but we got a really good chance to look at the culture and to absorb how the people experience the country, and we also got to see the ruins and the history behind it.
So what kind of experiences allowed you to see how people live, how people...
Well, we get to go out to the piazzas and we get to walk around, the streets and just see people, go through their day-to-day lives. And, we get to see the scooters and just the differences between Italy and America.
What were some of the more striking differences, something that really kind of caught you and you said, wow, that's so different, that's so unexpected?
The striking differences, the really noticeable ones at first was like the traffic. Like people, there's crosswalks are pretty disregarded, and people are really close to cars and stuff. And
basically cars have the priority over people walking and pedestrians.
And traffic is a lot more fluid. Like it's not stop and go.
Right on. How about you, Mr. Boschwitz? First time in Italy or no?
No, I've been to Lake Como before.
So you were in the north of Italy.
Yeah.
So you've been in the north, now you've been in Rome, which is central Italy, then you went to Napoli, which is definitely southern Italy. It's kind of like the beginning of southern Italy. What are your thoughts? Which did you like best? What parts have you enjoyed the most?
I really liked Rome. I thought Sorrento was actually a lot like northern Italy, like around Lake Como. It looked very similar. What I thought was most interesting was how in Rome, like it seems as though like half the buildings are like at least a couple thousand years old. It's like every other building. It's just really interesting.
Right. Other impressions? Other impressions, and now in terms of things that we've done and seen, so we've been to Pompeii, we've to Cumae, Vatican museums, Bay of Naples, Capri, Sorrento. I mean, all of these different things. Which one did you perhaps like the most, or enjoy the most?
No, they're all kind of like unique in their own way. Like I can't say I like more than the other because they're different.
Right.
I just think Roman history is just so interesting. It's so complex.
Have you enjoyed our guide, Albert?
Oh yeah, I think Albert's
Albert's great. Yeah.
Albert's a beast.
He's a great source of information. Yeah. Go here. We could do more than one at a time. Anyway, Mr. Rosanelli.
Hey.
First time in Italy or no?
No. First time in a while, though. I haven't been here since...
Any other Rosanellis on this trip?
What?
Have you met any other Rosanellis on this trip? Long lost cousin.
No.
So, impressions? Has it been a good trip for you?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I think other people have said this, but we got to see some of the ruins and stuff, but we also got to really experience the culture and see some of the more modern stuff, which is what I wanted to see.
Was this your first Stuart Hall trip abroad? Or?
Well, yeah, out of the country anyway. Like, I've done service trips and stuff in...
New Orleans?
Yeah, New Orleans.
Okay. I don't know. Any impressions, commentary, anecdotes?
It's been pretty fun. I've enjoyed all of it. The tours have been pretty good, especially when Bruce is giving his little thing. He interrupted the
great source of information.
Yeah.
Have you had free time to kind of explore on your own?
Yeah, it's actually been good. We've been able to sort of explore on our own. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Are you a soccer fan, football fan, or no?
I watch it occasionally. I mean, I watched it when we went to the place to see, the United States play England.
It's gonna be different though.
Yeah, tonight should be fun.
How about you, Will?
No, hi, Grandpa.
First time in Italy?
In
We'll
Italy,
do a double here. We'll do Jack and Will together. First time for you, Will, or no?
in Italy, yes, but in Europe, no. I've been to Europe. So.
Right on. Where else in Europe have you been?
I've been to let's see, Germany, England, France, pretty much. Like I mean, I've been to like airports in like Poland and stuff.
Right on. But for you, Jack, first time in Italy or no? You've been here before?
I've been to Italy once before with my family.
Right on. Right on. How's the trip been for you guys? You guys have been hanging out a lot together.
Yeah.
How was it been?
It's pretty good. Yeah, like
Yeah.
just going out and seeing all the tour sites. So it's really great.
What else? Something, I don't know, anecdotal, any story you'd like to tell us? Something funny, strange, odd, comedic.
Not really sure. I mean,
What's a pig for?
I was really interested in seeing Pantheon. I thought that was great.
Pantheon.
Yeah,
Pantheon.
that was really amazing.
Impressive structure, yeah.
Or the St. Peter's Basilica.
Within the Vatican museums, was there I don't know, one piece of art or any part of it that most struck you or that impressed you?
The Sistine Chapel was way more impressive than I thought. You know, because I've seen pictures of it. It's like a very iconic, you know, Vatican Italian thing.
Right.
But I had a seat, and which was really hard to get. But I got a seat, you know, like on the sides, and you look up, and it looks. It's really impressive. The images almost like leap out at you. The way they're painted makes them look very present and very impressive. It was a lot more interesting to look at, and a lot more impressive than I thought it was.
Did the information that you learned about Michelangelo and how long it took him to paint, the fact that he painted one when he was in his early 30s, painted the other when he was in his 60s. The ceiling alone took him 4 years to paint. Painted in fresco.
Right.
So actual technique. Did you know all that going into it, or did you learn it there through the
No,
guide?
I didn't know that he painted one part a lot later than the other. Because they look pretty similar. But I knew it took him years and years
Yeah,
to paint it.
yeah.
It's a huge area.
And now, so I'm going to open up this question kind of to the whole group, and then we'll let it go. But in terms of travel abroad trips like this for high school students, for Stewart Hall students, I guess we'll just kind of speak to our own Stewart Hall community. I think these are worthwhile trips, and it's worthwhile going abroad.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
They really are.
What do you think? I mean,
Well, you can learn about the culture like in a textbook or something, but you won't get as much as if you actually go to the place. You just see so much more. You get to actually experience it, and it just gives you a much better impression. You can really feel like what it's like to be there.
And one of the things, Latin is already really interesting, but the fact
again?
that Latin's already really interesting, but once you go and you see these inscriptions like actually in real life, it makes it twice as more fun to actually do and experience. So altogether, it's been a very worthwhile trip.
that's a really good point about the Latin, though.
Sorry, iniziare salad.
You also get to make, like,
La Niçoise è mia, sì.
I didn't know any of these people beforehand.
Grazie.
And
So
you
you
get
know
to
any of
you
your-
get to know people a lot better because they were freshmen on this trip. I got roomed with Elliot and Patrick, and I kind of knew about Patrick because he went on a ski trip, but I had no idea who Elliot was. And it was nice because I got to know all these people.
Elliot's a great guy. I mean,
So some goal 4.
Huh?
you had doubts?
Sure. I didn't have any doubts. I was just
I'm kidding. Your
But it
teachers
was-
have been pretty cool on this?
yeah. It was nice.
Where do you guys want to go next year?
New Zealand.
Germany.
Yeah, Germany. Let's do Germany.
Yeah, I agree.
Oktoberfest.
So let's see, Germany, New Zealand,
No Greece?
Greece.
Greece, actually.
That'd be cool. No, that would be cool.
Greece?
But I don't know. I haven't been to Germany. I want to check that
South
out.
Carolina's going to Greece next year.
Oh, we're going to Greece. Oh,
Let's
right.
go to Greece.
Alrighty, here we go. Buon appetito.